All right, welcome in. Another episode of Row 26. Chilling here with my fucking co-host, Johnny. We back after a week. And one of our main staples now on our show, Eddie Saint.
Yeah.
Welcome, kid. Welcome, Johnny. Welcome back. It's been about a week or so for us. So always great to get back with the unit here, the Row 26 unit here. Talk to me, John. How's your week coming along? How's things?
Oh, things are fucking fantastic. You know, as a Mets fan, you can tell my voice is a little hoarse. I'm not even going to the games. It's just me yelling at the TV at home, providing this. It doesn't get much better than this. We got October, college football, playoff baseball, UFC pay-per-view. Doesn't get much fucking better than this.
Shit, we got the fights going on right now.
Yeah,
I'm about to pull up the E streams on my monitor right here.
What's his name? The heavyweight is fighting tonight. What's his name? Oh,
Pereira.
Yeah, he's fighting tonight, right?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Heavyweight champ Alex Pereira. But I mean, let's get right into it. I'll start it off talking about the Mets. I fucking obviously got my jersey inside out, rally jersey, no rally cap. We got the rally jersey. This already lucky jersey, and it's lucky because I wore this in 2015 in September in DC. They were down 6 runs to the Nats, came back and won, ended up going to the World Series that year. This is the lucky jersey. Been rocking it since the fucking end of season doubleheader to get into the playoffs. This thing has been fucking hot. The Mets are hot. This is unbelievable. I mean, in terms of the breakdown of the game, obviously Zach Wheeler was unbelievable for the Phillies. An electric pitcher, former Met himself. But I just kind of had a feeling they were never out of it. Schwarbert's the leadoff home run. And then after that, the Mets pitchers match Wheeler pitch for pitch. Yeah. And coming out of game 1, they have Wheeler's good game out of the way, wasted. A road win. Edwin Diaz saved. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And this team is just different. Different from the Mets teams I grew up with. Different from the Mets teams of the past. When they faced a little bit of adversity, they crumbled and they broke your heart. And all I know is I literally had to send an apology, like, batch of food to my neighbor after that fucking playoff win against the Brewers. The first time ever in the history of baseball in a winner-take-all game, a 9th inning go-ahead home run. A 3-run home run from
my man Hans got right into it.
Bro, the Mets are there is some kind of voodoo magic, something in the air with the Mets for sure. Because you talk about a team that was 10, 12 games under 500 in July and flipped their season on a course
in early June to be
early
fair.
June.
Yeah.
So their season was dead. They came out hot, I believe, if I remember correctly. They came out pretty decently, and it was like a typical Mets fashion. They come out hot, they fall to the wayside, fall from grace, and then everyone's like, "Oh, their season's over."
No, this year is different. They didn't come out hot. They came out shitty. They were first 2 months were the shittiest of the year.
I guess that's the formula. They got to come out shitty then, John.
They had the doubleheader in London, and they lost the first game, and then the second game was crazy. They won in the 9th inning. At that point, they became 28 and 36. And I was like, if there's any time that they got to start turning it on, it's now. And since then, they've been one of the best teams in baseball. The pitching has turned on. Obviously, their manager is pressing all the right buttons. I can't endorse Carlos Mendoza more for manager of the year.
That's a rookie manager, right?
Yeah, rookie manager, going through all the last few managers for the Mets has just been wild. You know, since Beltran took the job, got caught up in the Astros scandal. They try to plug. They bring in Showalter. This is the first real Met manager that I'm like, this is my guy. And it's a different feel. We got oh my God, we got Grimace, we got Hawk Tua throwing out the first pitch. You know, it's just this is a team of lore, of destiny. And I would be lying if I didn't say at the gym today I wasn't listening to that, oh my God, Jose Iglesias hitting triceps. You already know.
You gotta do the dance when you do.
Yo, first and foremost, shout out to Row 26 having me on again.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited to just chat with you boys. Like you said, this week, Zach has been like freaking awesome as a sports fan, as a New Yorker, take in and realize what the hell we're seeing right now.
We're spoiled.
You got the Yankees in the playoffs. Yo, I'm not a Mets fan. I had no dog in the fight the last couple weeks. But like what the hell they've been doing from the 7th inning on, every game for the last week has been like, if you're not a fan of you don't understand. Like this is it. This is what
I screamed for that Pete Alonso home run.
We're not talking about baseball is boring, stupid people, chatterboxes. This is what it's all about. And I'm not a Met fan. I'm a New Yorker, and I love what the hell is going on in Queens. It's been awesome to watch. Football has been great. Fantasy's been, pretty a lot of fun. I'm a big Cowboy fan, as we all know. Not happy with my boys right now where we stand. And whatnot.
We'll definitely get into that. We're
gonna get into all of this. We're gonna get into all of this. We got basketball coming in a couple of weeks. Like
preseason started today.
Fucking vibe. This is a good time to be a sports fan in New York.
Best time of the year.
And even Zach was all out, all the way in the West Coast and just rocking it hard. Look at him. My man, he was his Yankee,
always
fresh shirt,
out to the
fresh jacket.
Yankees, bro.
Let's go, baby.
Let's get into it a little bit. Let's get into it a little bit.
Nothing more I wish for. To have another Subway series.
That's it. That's all we New Yorkers want. We want that Subway series.
I'm a whole Mets fan for the next 3 weeks.
Handshake agreement.
I am a whole Mets fan for the next 3 weeks.
Let's go.
New Yorkers
Let's combine forces.
Yes.
I want redemption. You guys want to prove you're still a big brother in town.
Let's get it.
I want to come
all of it.
There.
A lot.
I was
so
at
much.
the series in 2000 when Jeter hit the home run as the second batter in the inning. Game 3, I was there. I want redemption. I want the Yankees back. I ain't afraid. I'm cheering on my brethren, and if we lose, I want to lose to the majority of my friends' favorite teams.
I'm trying to bring my kids
to a
freaking Yankee. I'm trying to bring them to a ticker trade parade. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
I mean, honestly, like when it comes to the Yankees and the Mets, I feel like a lot of families are similar to my family dynamic. My pops is a Mets fan. I'm a Yankees fan. Like one side of your family is a Yankee fan, maybe the other side of your family is a Mets fan. There's a lot of those types of families in New York. So I think there's a lot of mutual love and just like, we don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me. Like you kind of are in the NL, we're in the AL. We don't really see each other often. So when we're seeing each other have success, I know the Met fans could give a shit about Yankee fans because we've had the success, but I know every Yankee fan in their heart is like, yo, shouts to the Mets when they're doing well. The city's always vibrant. Queens is always vibrant when the Mets are doing well. But I want to get into the Yankees a little bit today from this game before we get into the Hots Corner here and just give a couple shout outs. Shout outs to Alex Verdugo for fucking bringing his bat tonight. He was on point. Shouts out to Oswaldo for being the ultimate utility guy, making play after play at first base after Boone was whether or not questioning to put in him or fucking what's his name? The kid that can Ben Rice, the kid that speaks perfect Spanish and was talking in the media.
Love him.
Loved him too. Great glue guy. You could tell hopefully he'll be on the team for years to come and grow with us. But shouts to Oswaldo being ultimate utility and getting a double in the game, giving quality at bats. Shouts to Glaber for getting us started and lighting the fires tonight. And shouts out to Juan Soto for being our heart and soul of this fucking lineup all fucking year. And then once again, another 3-hit fucking night, seeing fucking 5+ pitches every at bat, literally being our core while Judge is still going through his mental whatever in the playoffs that we all Yankee fans know. This is getting to a point now. He's batting not 197, I believe, after this game tonight, going 0 for 4. He was 200 coming in. He's like in the high 100s in the average for postseason for his career. So we're still waiting for him to kind of maybe find that rhythm. Hopefully, with the support of the other guys for once and him not having to carry the load, it'll take the pressure off him a little bit. And the team backed up Garrett Cole when he didn't have all his stuff as well. And then shouts out to Luke Weaver and Clay Holmes for doing their job. They really made it seamless on the bullpen tonight. The bullpen looked exquisite. I think they're really finding roles now for these guys. And Luke is our dog in that fucking ninth. I just feel good when he's in. His energy, even that call that he got on the second batter for the strike 3 on Witt. It was a little low, but his juices and the way he throws, I feel like gets that call. Different than a Clay Holmes with his bullshit sinker. So shouts out to the Yankees. Super pumped. And I'm excited. It'll be a great series. Kansas City's chippy, and they have a bunch of guys that I fucking hate, like Melendez. But shouts out to the Yankees.
I mean,
huge.
Hot. Yeah, you go first. Let's talk about Yankees first, then get to the Met game.
I was just gonna say huge shout out to the Yankees. Absolute, dogfight today. The Royals came to play. They didn't lay down at all, like we saw the Tigers do earlier against the Guardians. And the Yankees withstood every blow and matched it blow for blow. I couldn't agree more about Soto. I think he is, obviously Judge was the guy this year in terms of the regular season, but it almost overshadowed just how great of a baseball player Juan Soto is. But Eddie, I know this is your favorite team. I won't step on you any longer. And then we'll get back to the Mets real quick before we get into anything else.
Yeah, so I'll get into the Yankees right now. First and foremost, I'm like beyond myself that we actually, not in a wild card game, like we were the last few years. We made the playoffs this year. Like we're that team that we should be in the playoffs every year. We should be in the postseason. We have that aura about us. We have the talent. There's no reason we shouldn't be in the place that we are right now. But with that being said, like Juan Soto, he's that man. That man is something special. He's a generational talent. Yes, do I believe that he had the best year ever in his career because Judge is on the team? Yes, but right now, postseason wise, it just showed right there. Game 1, he doesn't bow down to nothing. He's ready for it. He's here for it. He's a dog. And
he might have the best eye in the game.
Yeah, like he's that guy. Judge, I definitely was screaming at him tonight, yelling at my TV, and yelling at him in a sense, I don't know what it is, but I do know he's amazing. But I need to see something from him in the playoffs. He's our captain of the New York Yankees.
Great in the field, for the record, though. He made a nice play in first inning that I thought Bobby Witt had a hit there, like clean hit there, and he really ran over and showed a little bit more athleticism than what I even thought he could. Like that was pretty impressive.
Being a captain of the New York Yankees, like you have that responsibility of controlling what it is in front of you and holding it, being accountable and whatnot. And honestly, again, I think he went 0 for 5. Am I right? Did he go for 5 today?
0 for 4 with a walk.
4 with a walk. Didn't do much. Got a run scored due to walks on the Royals' behalf and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I think we have a solid, really solid team. I love what we got. I love Oswaldo stepping up without Rizzo being there. Volpe, a lot of people were, smashing him for that one error.
Yeah.
The kid's good. He made an error.
One thing, John, before you go, but that error, like you take out that error and you take out Stanton being the base runner for 2 of those scenarios where we literally he didn't outrun a play and he didn't score on that play where the ball was in that fly ball. You're talking about maybe a blowout. We're talking you know what I'm saying? Like, so but obviously situations are situational. So maybe if they don't score, we don't score more because we kind of just sit on our egg like we like to do sometimes. So situations are situational. So to say that we would continue to score those runs if it was different people.
The way the pitchers approach the hitters change.
Yeah, everything changes. And so to talk about what ifs is crap. But that Volpe error obviously was an anomaly. He's a Gold Glove shortstop. So hopefully moving forward, we won't see things like that again. And if we have those clean games, which I think we're capable of, I think that we're a really, really good team.
Another thing I want to throw in there, listen, we were off for 10 days or whatever it was. And, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Giancarlo swing, that boy, what's his name? The starting pitcher of the Royals today?
The starting pitcher for the Waka, Michael Waka, I think.
We had our boys on that high fastball. I was calling it out the first 3 innings. I'm like, stop going stop chasing Giancarlo, Judge, Jazz had a nice pop up with bases loaded.
Well, the first 2 at bats, you only saw 2 pitches, both at bats combined. Both were pop
not good.
Immediately got jammed. First pitch on both at bats.
Not good. I think something we can clean up. I'm not gonna lie, I love a little Bobby Witt. I'm a big fan.
It's not to love about that guy.
He's a stud. Very humble. I saw an interview he did the other day talking about how in his parents' house he still has a Derek Jeter poster up in his room. Yeah. He's that guy. And if it wasn't for Judge, he'd be the MVP of the AL. Let's be honest. Oh yeah. And so it's just dope to see that see this come up come in front of us and just this is what it is. And I'm so excited to see how this series goes down. But with that being said, man,
John, do you think that the Yankees are susceptible at all in this series to the Royals sneaking a win at home and then sneaking this?
Yeah, no, I think that definitely. I mean, the Royals are a good team. Bobby Witt's a top 3 player in baseball, but I do believe that this is the Yankees' best opportunity to make a World Series in a long time, seeing as the Astros went out early. The Astros have been the bane of the Yankees' existence the past decade or so.
Shouts to Yuli's bitch.
Yeah, so obviously, and then also the Orioles getting taken out is another good team to have out of there. I know obviously they lost, so you could be like, well, they lost, but Tigers played really well. Tarek Skubal's a Cy Young pitcher. He can shut down any lineup in a 3-game series. to have those two teams, arguably the top two teams in the AL after the Yankees get taken out that early, is huge. Obviously, the Guardians are still going to be a tough out. The Royals are still going to be a tough out. And if the Tigers advance, I really think that's even a better matchup. But I just see the Guardians probably getting away there. But in terms of Aaron Judge, we was talking about it earlier, this is an official Row 26 challenge to Aaron Judge. Eddie did call you butt in the group chat. Not butt, B-U-T. B-U-T-T. You got to step your game up so you could go from butt to fucking baller, as we say in the industry. So, obviously, the Yankees are in a good place. Like I said, it means the world. The Astros are out. Winging it back over to the Mets real quick. I just want to do a quick rundown, kind of like Zach did. I think some guys that are getting overshined because of the Alonso home runs. Obviously, Jose Quintana going 6 scoreless in that game 3. Today, we had Peterson come out and deal for 4 innings after Sango went the first 2 after closing the last game in game 3 against Milwaukee.
Peterson is so valuable. Like, it's insane. Any situation, I feel like he's a guy.
Well, that was the first time he ever came out of the bullpen, was the first one. And now, like, he just did it and was away. He gave up a hit, but then he went strikeout and then double play ball. And then obviously today, I just want to give a huge shout out to Mendoza for pulling the trigger on going with Senga. He did give up the leadoff home run, but obviously after that, he locked in, struck some guys out, made him look silly with the ghost fork. Peterson comes in, Stanek comes in, Maton comes in, and obviously we get to save Severino and Manaya and Quintana to go further along in the series. And then, of course, Edwin Diaz, we mentioned off the top. But Mendoza has been a genius manager. It's a very interesting move. You don't see a lot of people do something like that. A guy who's injured, hasn't pitched since July. We're going to throw him out there to start the series in the DS, and we know he's not going to go any more than 30, 35 pitches. But let's just see how this goes. And obviously the leadoff home run wasn't great. But after that, for him to give off the leadoff home run and then settle down and get the next, 2 innings handled, only 1 run, and then
almost like it was a blessing. It was just like 1 run. Okay, like it's almost like everyone looked at you. It's like, all right, you got it out of your system.
Day is Kyle Schwarber.
Fucking pitch now.
That's just like
just pitch.
It happens. Like that's what he does.
And if you guys are making a deep run, knowing that he can really that core in now, and he's had that now. Some start.
Yeah, the next start he'll go 4 innings, 5 innings. But
you got it exactly.
And like Eddie said, Kyle Schwarber has the record for leadoff home runs in a season this year. That's what he does. Yeah. He passed Yankees legend Alfonso Soriano, who had 13 this year. Schwarber at 15, and just added another one in the playoffs. So
he's just so.
I didn't know that.
Eddie,
and before we get into the Hots Corner, I just want to say we're talking New York. I'm going to leave the floor to you guys for this one. This is a nice New York Fest, Yankees Fest, Knicks Fest, of course.
Take it, Eddie. You got
it. The baton to you guys. What do we think about the trade? Where are we at?
Talk to us about the Karl Anthony Towns trade, bro.
I love the trade. Yeah, I honestly love the trade because at the end of the day, look, I'm a big Julius fan. I'm so happy of everything he's ever done for us. He brought us back on the map. He's a dog. He, he's an offensive weapon. And he brought what we needed, like the energy that we needed to be like, okay, like this is who we are. We are grinders. We're grinders. We are those teams. We are those teams that's going to be hard to beat. We don't have the best players, the most athletic players in the NBA, but this is who we are. Hard nosed basketball. He brought that back. With that being said, losing him was like bittersweet. Obviously Dante was actually even worse in a sense because for the last couple of years,
I totally agree.
Jalen comes in, takes that role it's Jalen's team, and everyone knows it. Jalen's that man. It's Jalen's team. Yes, would I have loved to see Julius play with Jalen last year? Of course. I think if Julius was on the team last year, no doubt in my mind, I think we're beating Philly. There's no doubt in my mind.
You mean Indiana? You mean
Indiana? Excuse me. Indiana.
We did beat Philly.
It was a hard
Indiana with Julius.
Series, a lot of physical game, and if we had a guy like Julius, I think we'd beat him.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of injuries in that series.
Dante took advantage of his situation.
Yep.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
He was playing with his best friends.
Yep.
So his confidence was on another level. He was letting his shit hang every night. Whenever he stepped on the floor,
shout out.
He was letting his, what I'm saying? He was being that guy. And I wish the best for him.
Yeah.
That hurt. Like I'm in a lot of chats obviously with you guys and other brothers of mine or whatever. And everyone's like, oh, Dante. We felt the same way about Quickly. We don't want to lose Quickly. He was a guy of ours that we love.
Dante's a much better player than Quickly, though.
I mean, okay, but that's you saw 1 year. You saw 1 year of him.
RJ's a good comparison.
Doing what he did.
RJ, I would say RJ is a better comparison. Everyone was like, "Oh, why are we trading RJ?" And then you got Anobi.
Yeah. Quickly, I feel like we always knew was going to eventually leave us because of the way he plays basketball and Thibodeau's brand. He was always just an offensive threat, really loose cannon. You need to kind of just let him play the way he likes to play in free basketball. That's when he's going to get his. You can't put tape around a guy like him.
At the end of the day, the Knicks know who they are. Thibodeau knows who they are. It's Jalen's team.
Can we just talk about the elephant in the room?
You have to make Jalen's situation better than what it is. And with Cat there, let's not get it twisted. The best person in that trade was Karl Anthony Towns. Like, by far. He's the best player in that trade.
Towns proved a lot last year sitting on the bench when Naz Reid was balling and not causing a fit, not talking in the media, being a guy that was obviously their second best player, but at that moment in the playoffs knew that he could be like, I don't know.
This is, I think,
Julius mentally.
I'll throw the wrench in there.
What you got?
Cat has always been a great overall player.
Yes.
When Anthony Edwards came onto the scene, it was almost like, okay, I have to take a step back. Like, this is his team, or am I kind of parting with him and this and that? Can I still be Cat? And yeah, he still was. They were great. They went to the West Conference Finals last year.
He was 50, 40, 90 last year. He was 87% on the free throw line. That's the only thing he missed there.
I think he comes to New York and he knows Jalen's the captain. I'm going to be his biggest weapon that he's ever had. And I'm going to make him be greater than he's ever been. And he's going to make me greater than I've ever been. I think Jalen helps Cat more than Anthony Edwards helps Cat. So I think Cat and Jalen together, dude, talk to me fucking nice.
There's no question about that.
We're going first place.
I do want to mention one thing about Julius. It's important to say this about Julius. And like you said, two things. One is that we would not be in the position that we're in if it wasn't for Julius. He definitely was the guy that started this rebrand of the Knicks. So he gets that credit. But the other thing that we have to talk about Julius is that I don't believe in an offense the way Julius plays, that if he's not the feature player, almost similar to a Michael Beasley, for lack of a better person, even a Allen Iverson, for lack of a better person, it's almost like these kinds of guys that score at will, but they really don't. Allen Iverson might be a horrible comparison, but just in terms of scoring and what they do on offense mostly, which is they get the ball and it's ISO, and it's just them on an island, and they're going to probably score because they're just better than the person that's usually guarding them. Julius is a mismatch. Bigger guys he's quicker than, smaller guys he can power against. So he's kind of that mismatch type of player. But beyond that role, if Jalen's the man and Jalen has the ball, that guy is not a guy that's going to be long-term effective, because he shoots the three at lower than a 35% clip, and they're going to leave him out there all game long. Cat shooting 41% from three last year, sitting in the corner at 7 feet tall with Jalen and now Mikal. That's a way different looking spaced offense with a guy like Julius who likes to operate on an island. The island thing just doesn't work with what Jalen and this team is trying to do. It doesn't make any sense. That's why all the hate that people give, like why do you want to trade Julius? It's not about not loving Julius. It's about the fit. The fit is not there on this team.
I'll take it a step further. You guys, I honestly believe, are looking at Julius Randle through orange and blue colored glasses, even saying things like, we could have beat Indiana with him. I think the team became better when Julius Randle wasn't there. The team gelled together better. They played together better. Their record was better. They met farther than they ever did with Julius Randle.
10-game sample size, Eddie. Don't even bring it up. Don't even bring it up.
Have a chance.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up.
No, just pull up the record that Randle had.
It's a 10-game sample size.
That's what I'm saying. So how can you compare that?
10 games, Eddie.
How can you compare that?
But what I'm saying is,
I've seen them play whatever it was. Yes,
but I've seen them play beforehand with Julius Randle, and I've seen them play after, and the team gelled. Like the Knicks went on the best run.
The best team in January with Julius Randle. We're the best team in the NBA.
Every Randle fan knows that stat. It's tattooed on them.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched enough basketball to know that he has bad body language.
I agree.
He get back on defense.
I
He's
agree.
a dog, and he has, stuffed the stat line for years. And I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's a limited player in his super left-hand dominant. He has to get to his
Not
spots.
a winning player, period.
And he's never been a winning player. He got shipped out of LA, and then they won a championship without him. This could be a similar situation for the Knicks.
You got LeBron James, Hots. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not right. That's not right. They got LeBron
I love
James.
the defense. John, you got to appreciate the defense there.
You got LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Like, let's not do that.
All right, fair enough. They got good players afterwards, but the point of the matter is the formula for winning was moving on from him. They wouldn't have been able to sign a LeBron James if they hadn't moved on from Julius Randle's contract.
Right.
Same thing in New Orleans, by the way.
By the way, I did say that Julius Randle leaving and Cat coming was better.
Everywhere he goes.
But I'm just saying, like the whole point of counterpoint of well, LeBron James went there. LeBron James went there because Julius Randle left. They wouldn't have had the funds to pay LeBron James if Julius Randle's got re-signed.
That point doesn't coexist with you saying that Julius Randle's the reason why they were losing. Like he was a child.
Julius Randle was in the wrong era.
He's 20 years old. 22
Just saying
years
in general,
old.
his style of play, he's in the wrong era. He needs to be 10 years before his era. He's like the iso ball game that he played, that he grew up watching Melo and all these fucking hype beasts take guys on one-on-one. That's what the game used to be. Now with the three-point shot and the way the game's played, the game has passed him by. Yes, he gets his points because he's too talented not to. But you be clear, when he was on fucking New Orleans as well, same problem. They have eventually shooters and people that don't get the ball because he's just doing what he's doing. So what do? They ship him out of there to a team that needs a scorer, the Knicks, who have no life. They were a lifeless team when he came.
What happened to New Orleans after that? What happened to New Orleans after Julius Randle left?
He drafted poorly.
Nobody on that squad, like you said.
Yeah,
they went nowhere.
Yeah, but they
honestly, I'm not even trying to go back. My whole thing is Julius Randle ain't a scrub.
They were making the playoffs with McCollum.
Julius Randle is not a scrub, and I hate the shit he does.
New Orleans got better after Julius Randle left. They've been
McCollum and Brandon Ingram.
They've been a playoff team the last few years.
Zion they drafted, who was injured.
They went to playoffs with Julius Randle too.
I don't.
They were.
Misremembering, but I think they were there.
And then AD got hurt. AD got hurt, and he was carrying
8 seed, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, and
losing to the Lakers probably in the first round or whatever it was.
All right. Point being, honestly, what I'm getting to is I'm puzzled by the Minnesota Timberwolves side of this trade.
I agree.
Oh my God!
I'm absolutely in shock that you have the best season you've had in 2 decades. You make it to the Western Conference Finals. You beat the defending champs. You have a formula. You have a young superstar. You have a star who took a back seat, who we've mentioned all things. He can shoot. He's a 3-point champion. He's a 10-rebound, 20-point guy, and has done it for a long time now. Rookie of the year. Since then, been really good every year. And also, obviously, Dante DiVincenzo adds an element. But Dante DiVincenzo, as great as he played, is not a guy who's going to move the needle for a guy like Karl Anthony Towns for me. So they obviously are more on the Eddie side of Julius Randle, or this is some internal thing where maybe the coach, the star, Anthony Edwards, or the owner, some crazy shit went down that they got rid of him because just being a basketball-oriented trade, it's hard to find the sense in this.
The sense is Nas Reed. Nas Reed, from what I've read.
I feel you 1,000%. I'm so clueless on why the Timberwolves even made that trade because, like you said, they went to the Western Conference Finals. Anthony Edwards is a child. He is a man beast. He's the next best thing that's going to come to the NBA when LeBron's gone.
He's here.
And it's just like, it baffles me because him and Kat, they say they're brothers. Like, you could tell they're, I remember there was a time that Kat got into an interview and he got mad at the reporters because they were laughing at him saying that he likes to eat Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. And they were like, don't do that to him because he shouldn't be doing that. Like, that's how much of a big bro he was to Anthony Edwards. They go to the Western Conference Finals, whatever happens. And the fact that they blew it up for Julius Randle and Dante, it's like, I love Dante, I love Julius. I think they're still going to be good. I think they're still making the playoffs as long as everyone's healthy.
How does an ISO 4 help Ant?
But like the Cat, is that 5 that you need in the West. You got Jokic
coming off the bench on that team.
You got all of that. And I feel like the Knicks won on this trade. Yes, it hurts me to lose Dante and
Eddie. Who's starting? Nas Reed or Julius? at the
Julius.
4. So
Yeah.
Nas Reed is still coming off the bench, is what you're
Why-
saying.
I think if you play small, it's going to be both of them. They both start.
Nas ended up starting right towards the end of the year. If
No?
I'm not mistaken.
Nah, Nas was 6th man of the year the whole year. I think like even your argument of like the reason why they traded Cat is for Nas Reed.
over Julius Randle.
Let Nas start. That would be my thought. And Julius
Nas Reed was perfect in his role as 6th man of the year. The team was already set up. If they just make a few shots that they miss, they're in the finals. You know, like they're that close. And you're gonna switch all this shit up, like
They lost Towns now.
Yeah, the Western Conference Finals. Yeah.
Nas Reed lost Towns though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, now we're gonna mix this up after getting so close. Like if we put Nas Reed in and trade Towns and have Julius Randle come off the bench now, like why? It's so
Julius
much.
Randle's not coming off the bench. I'm telling you that right now.
I agree. I agree with you. I don't think
Nas Reed and Julius both lining up together 4-5.
That's what I just said.
Oh,
and
okay,
then Gobert's gonna come off the bench.
I mean, shit. Yeah,
Gobert's not coming off the
Obviously,
bench.
it's too much money to come off the bench. It's like a $200
No, you think
million
Julius
fine.
Randle's coming off the bench?
Julius Randle starting at the 4, and Nas Reed is going to be the 6th man of the year again, hopefully for them.
Right.
But my point being is like the trade happening because of Nas Reed when he's still just going to be the 6th man doesn't make any sense. You know,
Interesting. Randall or Towns in that offense? I'm thinking about it. It's with Ant. I'm trying to envision it. It's just. Ant's a good passer. He's kind of an underrated passer. He's a great player. I mean, he's just really a great talent. He's unbelievable. I don't know.
Julius Randle is a guy who benefits from a great passer. Like you just said, he needs the ball and then to make a move and then create. He doesn't like run off screens.
Julius Randle at his best didn't even have a great passer. He was
exactly.
Yeah.
Julius Randle would bring up the ball himself a lot of times.
Yeah.
That's not okay. You know.
Yeah.
The whole team was his at one point. It was not. With RJ shooting randomly some games and other games not, painfully.
Crazy times. But I like to trade for the Knicks.
I think the Knicks are in the best place they could be. I think Jalen Brunson, Kyle Bridges up to 2. You got Josh Hart, OG, and Cat.
Josh Hart is on that bench.
Crazy lineup with Mitchell Robinson, Precious, McBride, all coming off the bench.
Josh Hart is going to be on that bench.
Yeah.
Josh Hart will be first man off the bench. OG and Mikel start next to each other.
Josh Hart's going to start. Josh is going to start.
Only because
I'll bet you, Zach, a friendly bet. I bet you 10 push-ups that Josh Hart's in
the starting lineup will not have Josh Hart if everyone's healthy.
10 push-ups.
10 push-ups. I don't know. I think everyone's healthy.
Huh? So who's starting? So Mitchell and Cat both start?
Mitchell's not even playing.
Mikal, Jalen.
With who?
Jalen, Mikal, OG, Cat, Mitchell. Healthy.
No way. I don't think
Jalen, Mikal, OG, Cat, and Mitchell's not playing for 4 months. I just have week 1. It's game 1.
Is that actually announced? Mitchell's
not playing until December. Mitchell's not playing until December.
All right. This has been a very heavy New York podcast so far. Let's get into that was amazing. Great first half hour to get started. Let's get into the hot corner.
Crazy trade, too. Crazy time of year for a basketball trade. Crazy.
Yeah, well, like I said, it seems like something fishy happened in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you both 5 questions each.
Uh-oh.
So we'll switch off. We'll alternate. We'll do Zach first.
Okay.
All right. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Yeah, we're doing questions right
perfect.
now.
I got time to think
questions. It's that time of the show.
All right. I'll start with Zach. Who is the best villain in cinema history?
Oh, I got this.
I'll go with Bane.
Go ahead. You guys can both answer. We'll do it quick. Eddie, go ahead.
I got Joker. Keep Ledger like Joker.
Yeah, all right.
100%.
What is the nastiest strikeout pitch of all time? Pitcher and pitch. For example, like Kodai Senga, Ghost Fork. Like, a pitcher and their best pitch.
I can't even tell you because I can't recollect. But I can tell you right now, the best pitcher to me ever that struck out the most was Greg Maddux.
All right, so we'll say Greg Maddux changeup.
Changeup.
Everybody change it. There you go. Yep.
All right, so can I say 2? Just
go ahead.
I'll say 1 for Eddie. Randy Johnson's 99-mile-an-hour slider.
Yes, that's good.
That's 1.
That's a good one.
And
Pedro Martinez.
No. Mariano Rivera's cutter.
All right. Moving on. Good answers.
Oh shit, Zach.
Come on, mode,
right,
baby. I'm in Yankee mode right now.
What is your favorite television commercial of all time? Eddie first, or Zach first.
Let me think. Favorite television commercial. I always loved the Polar Bear Coca-Cola commercials from back in the day.
That's actually very well made commercials. That's a good answer. What about you, Eddie? You got anything off the top?
That was the first ones that came to my head.
No, okay.
All right, we'll pass. All right. Who is your favorite player that played for a divisional rival of one of your teams?
David Ortiz.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Good answer. Let me think about it for a second. Pass.
All right. Which state?
And I'll do it for you, Hodge. Okay.
Which state? Fucking love Paul Pierce. Which state would you least want to live in?
My least.
Again?
Which state would you least want to live in?
New Mexico.
Eddie's got
I've driven through there, so
California.
California. I like it. I like it. Worst draft pick in New York Giants history.
I got a couple. Oh man, that's easy.
Just go the first one off your head.
There's so many good ones.
Oh.
Man, the worst guy between David Wilson and Eric Flowers.
Oh, Eric Flowers, Jesus. Oh my God. I'm gonna I go with Hot Boy. What's his name? Tony. There is Tony. When you guys needed it the most, you go
with
the
ring
rat.
now, so I eliminated him.
Not for the Giants though, so I
know,
like
but
it.
it still shows that he's an athlete, I guess. And it wasn't a flop.
All right. You have to spend 100 days in isolation, but you're allowed to watch unlimited episodes of 4 television shows, or make it 3 television shows. What 3 are you choosing?
Suits, Sopranos, Game of Thrones.
That's
nice,
good.
Quick.
Nice, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Entourage is one. I feel like Seinfeld would just be like, it would almost put me in a trance. I'll go with Curb, and then the last one show would be, I like Sopranos. Sopranos too.
Entourage, Curb, and Sopranos. All right. And then, would you rather be the world's best chef or the world's best dancer?
Say it again?
The world's best chef.
Would you rather be the world's best chef or the world's best dancer? Chef. Who is your favorite WWF? Who is your favorite WWF/WWE wrestler of all time?
Stone Cold and Steve Austin was the best to ever do it.
Yeah, he's
The
amazing.
best to Stone Cold and The Rock.
No give a fuck of him that he taught us. It's just the way he was.
You're doubling down with it.
Doesn't matter. Oh my god.
It doesn't matter what your name is. Yeah, what? Honestly, I'll take my top 3 right now.
All right, I think
Stone Cold, Triple H, Rock.
I would say Stone Cold and Jeff Hardy would be personal favorite too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, give your top 3, Eddie. You had them on. You had them ready.
Yeah, I had him ready. The Rock, for sure. The People's Champ. Triple H.
He was on trial.
I think the pedigree was the best finisher ever. And Stone Cold and Steve Austin. I think maybe toughest child.
Special
consideration to The Undertaker. I think The Last Ride is the best finisher ever.
We'll talk some more after. You know how it goes. If you could witness one moment in history as a fly on the wall, as in you cannot make an impact or change history, what moment would you want to see?
I would have loved to have been there when Aaron Boone hit that home run. Yes.
Yeah. I was like thinking like the Roman Coliseum.
Yeah.
Theaters.
Nah, I can't even like go into that.
I want to be there for Jesus on the cross. Like I want to see that, all that. Yeah, I want to.
Nah, not me.
Yeah.
All right. I think we broke up a little bit there. All right, keep it biblical. All right, and the 2 that we have to go back to real quick, if you guys have one. If not, we got plenty to talk about. Is what is your favorite television commercial of all time to Eddie?
There's
That's
a lot
hard.
of good ones. Corona. Dos Equis, the Dos Equis guy. The Geico commercials, the parenting commercials.
It's
I love
okay.
those too.
He just doesn't have one. It's all good.
I just honestly, I don't have one that honestly
Just
grabs
getting
me.
the wheel spinning. That's all.
Now, honestly, I used to have, Super Bowl commercials that I loved and whatever, but there's nothing that just gravitates me and just.
All right,
Yeah.
and then the other one I think was for Zach. Who is your favorite player that played for a divisional rival of one of your favorite teams? Eddie went with David Ortiz.
I always liked Brian Westbrook. Unfortunately, he was amazing though. I like playing with him in Madden too. So Brian
That's a
Westbrook.
fucking weird one. All right,
Yeah.
let's get into the recap. Who is the best villain in cinema history? You guys went double Batman. I'll let you each have a minute or two to talk about why you love the Bane and why you love the Joker. I mean, the Heath Ledger Joker, I think I'd have to say over Bane.
You said the
I
worst
think,
villain,
that
not
was
the
the
most
best
popular.
that was the best acting. What is it? Showing that movie ever
Performance? Yeah.
performance I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
He killed the movie. He was
Yeah.
it. The man lost his life, like trying to be that person. Like
I love that.
it goes deep, and you could tell, like it gravitates, it grabs you. It's ill, it's dark. If I had a sec, I do like Bane. I really do like Bane because I'm a big time Tom Hardy fan.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like if I had to go number 2, it would be like Hannibal Lecter. That dark villain. Like that's where it's at. So that's why I chose Joker though. Because of the
I
dark.
think of another villain that would be a good one.
I have one if you want to think on for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
All right, I don't know if you guys have
Right.
ever seen. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Misery with James Caan and Kathy Bates.
Never seen it.
I like both of them. They're great. Yeah. Wow.
So basically, the theme of the story is like James Caan is an author and he gets injured, like trying to drive in like a snowstorm, and this woman like helps him at first, Kathy Bates, and then like he ends up like figuring out who he is, the author, and she loves him, and she like ends up hurting him more and like keeping him trapped in her house for
Oh my
like
God.
and like not letting him heal. She would like break his leg, like continually break his legs, and he eventually had to like escape. But she's like so dark and twisted. If you've never seen it, it's like a very, very good movie. Obviously,
Sounds
two
great.
amazing actors.
Yeah.
No, amazing. Yeah, Kathy Bates. I'm like looking it up right now.
James Caan's the father.
great.
Now. He's a legend.
Dude, she
Like,
was incredible movie. Honestly, so good. And then
I put this shit down. Honestly, I can't believe I didn't see this movie because I'm a big movie head.
yeah, oh no, this is like a very revered movie. Like this isn't like
good.
a indie. Like this is a good old movie. Like I guess probably the 80s or whatever. But
1990, I was
movie.
born that year, right?
Wow.
yeah, it's not that old. I was born that year too, I guess. It's very new movie actually. Now that I think about it, young movie. But have you thought about another villain you wanted to shout? Oh, I have one more. If you're not ready yet, Zach. Sorry.
Come on, Zach.
Well, just in general, Bane, I do want to talk about here for a second. I thought Tom Hardy killed that role also. I also felt like the gravity of Bane was bigger and it was darker themed than the Joker was. The Joker was more like incredible acting and like it felt like almost you were having fun with the Joker in the movie, like the way Heath Ledger was playing, like you were almost loving his character versus like Bane. You like as you were sitting there, you were like when he blew up that stadium and or like that whole shit with the Pittsburgh Steelers and like that whole scene is like fucking intense. I feel like way more different type of movie. So I don't know. That's one thing I wanted to say, but I'm trying to think of somebody else. Oh, Darth Vader also in terms of just like in general, like that's who came to my mind before. That's what I was just doing here. I was just sitting here, but Darth Vader is another guy I wanted to say is like a classic villain.
Great shout out. And I like where you're going with like the concept of does likability make you less of a villain? Because like, you know,
like a bunch of girls love Heath Ledger too, and love him as Joker too. I feel like it was just
There is-
the girls and the boys.
there is a point where the heel becomes the baby face. Like you could look at like a show like Dexter, where guys like a stone cold serial killer like murders people, and he's like the protagonist of the show because like they make him a likable killer. You know what I mean? Where does Joker have a little bit to that to him? But I don't know if that necessarily makes you a worse villain. So it's kind of, but it's a cool. I like the idea of like it's a thought experiment. But one other
scene is unbelievable though with Heath Ledger, where they go into that bank and that whole thing. And they're on the roof. Like when they set the tone with that movie, with that scene, like
the way he walks.
I don't
want to be. I don't want to be a hater.
It's
not incredible. It's lore. Like yeah,
Heath Ledger stole that movie. Like that was the best acting I've ever seen in my entire life. Like that was the best character.
I'll always watch when that movie.
The best character you ever seen in a movie is gonna be that Joker.
It's lore for sure. Lore movie for sure.
You want to talk about who you hate? Like for example, like I might be drifting, but Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones, Cersei, like that girl played Cersei. I literally hated. Me and my wife hated her.
Yeah,
I hated while she was playing that role. You know,
Game of Thrones has great villains: Joffrey, Ramses. You know, yeah.
And you literally was invested mentally, like, fuck that.
Yeah, and when they get killed, finally, you're like, yeah, finally, fuck you, like, finally.
One more villain I want to shout out quick. We've talked about Unbreakable on the show before, how much I think that's like a beautiful film. I don't want to get too much into like the Split universe, but Glass, Mr. Glass in Unbreakable, when you find out he's the villain at the very end and he's murdered and killed thousands of people trying to find his counterpart of someone who's invincible when he is so breakable, is fucking crazy, and he's a fucking great villain. He's a villain who built his own hero to battle against himself.
Literally an episode.
And it's Samuel Jackson being an amazing actor.
Samuel. Go.
All right, so then we went on to the nastiest strikeout pitch of all time, pitcher and pitch. Randy Johnson slider was 1A for me, so Zach drilled that as far as I'm concerned. And then Eddie went with the Greg Maddux changeup, which is a fucking awesome answer too. He was so fucking nasty.
Yeah.
You know, he would set people up. Like if they were winning by a bunch of runs in a game, he'd intentionally like hang a slider so he could like set them up like later in the season in a bigger spot. The Professor, awesome. One thing I wanted to shout out, or maybe I might be nitpicking a little bit, but basically all Mariano Rivera threw was a cutter. It wasn't like his go-to strikeout pitch. It's like it was just a most dominant pitch in relief pitching history, to be fair. Yeah. But it wasn't necessarily like his strikeout pitch. Like I got an 0-2 count. This is what I'm going to go to.
Yeah. Mario threw the cutter. You're just rounding it out to second.
Yeah. 9.2 ERA for the playoff history. I think it is, right? Or something like that.
He only needed one pitch to dominate for 20 years or whatever. It's crazy.
It's just
go. I'm trying to think of it. I think the Pedro Martinez circle change and slider could both be on this list.
Splitter for Roger Clemens is one I thought
I think one of the nastiest preservers is to Wakefield too. I mean,
nice.
Victor's knuckleball. I remember playing like it wasn't MLB the show back then. Yeah. But it was like those games like you played with Tim Wakefield and you're like, this is crazy. You got to throw 60 miles an hour and having guys whiff.
Eat this pitch.
It was awesome.
Classic.
And just some like throwback, like a Billy Wagner fastball.
I was just thinking throwbacks. I'm trying to think of throwbacks. Fuck.
Roger, Yankee fan, Roger Clemens.
His splitter for sure. I mentioned
looking at you and just flexing after a strikeout.
Nasty.
I'm gonna say two more, and then we can move it on. But Kerry Wood fastball, and then a Barry Zito curveball.
Kerry Wood was a Chicago Cubs, right?
Curve, nasty.
He had 20 strikeouts in a game. Him and Clemens both are the record for that.
Oklahoma Athletics. Shout out to them. God bless you. Oklahoma Athletics, man. But those are the times. Barry Zito, Jason Giambi, Jeremy Giambi.
Yeah, Hudson, Mulder. Those teams are cool.
Tim Hudson also, the two-seamer, nasty. I mean, there's some guys. Man.
All right, we'll keep it moving. Your favorite television commercial of all time? I do love the Polar Bear one. It is a classy.
It just reminds me of being like when I was a kid watching sports and just like when it was like they would be like floating on an ice thing, and then one of the it's like there was no sound usually. It was just the sounds of them landing and drinking.
It was like
talking, and then it's just like it's like I don't know. I always love those.
Crisp. I liked. I mean, what came to my head? It might be oversaturated by now, but it was like "Waza," the whole Bud Light, like.
Wow. Those are great.
Those are fun for a long time. They make the rounds every few years. They kind of throw it back out there as like a joke.
Snickers?
No, the Budweiser. Or
Budweiser, right.
Like, what's up?
Things. Yeah.
Scary movie.
Budweiser was the OG. That's right.
Scary movie brought it back.
Scary
Like it's
movie.
relevant to pop culture to this day. Like
Scary movie,
Still.
classic. That movie would not even play nowadays. Like kids wouldn't even be able to take it.
Not allowed. Yeah, no.
Yeah, all the
No.
insinuations and shit like that. Like some people are playing clips from it right now that have like Diddy insinuations in them. It's like fucking, you
Too
know,
woke
all
for
that.
that.
Yeah.
too crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's not talk about Diddy. Moving on.
keep them off our airwaves. Yeah, fact.
And then, who is your favorite player that played for a divisional rival of one of your favorite teams? We got David Ortiz. I think is a great answer. You know, great ambassador for baseball in general. I forgot where Zach landed. To be honest. Oh, Brian Westbrook. Yuck.
Yeah,
Nasty.
no,
Or
I liked him because he was a pass catching running back, and you know I've always used him in Madden.
My favorite Eagle of all time was Brian Dawkins. So you said that, I would have respected his
That's
shit.
a good Eagle. Yeah, he's
You know,
my favorite
Westbrook-
Eagle all time. I probably Zach Ertz. I liked him a lot. He's a great player.
Zach Ertz and Brian Westbrook. You need to hand in your card.
Yo.
I don't like the Eagles, so fuck them. Like I don't know. I'm just picking guys.
Brian
That
Dawkins for sure. And then if we're going into like the lore, like my growing up watching
Douglas.
to the lore, it's got to be Reggie White. I like watching old Reggie White
Reggie
clips. Fucking on that Buddy Ryan defense was fucking scary. You know,
Troy Vincent on that defense.
my favorite rival was Sean Taylor. I always loved Sean Taylor,
Good
even when
name.
he was on the Skins.
Oh,
Commanders.
good one.
I like.
Yeah.
I did like Dez. I did like Dez. It was hard not to like him. Hit the way how good he was he was so hype. It was
Yeah, honestly,
watching
Yeah,
him.
before I said that's my favorite Cowboy.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. His highlight reel is
My lifetime, like
it is
watching him.
ridiculous.
He was like my character. Like, you know,
Yeah, Post Super Bowl years, he's definitely up there. Like, yeah. Eddie loves
What?
that.
Yeah,
What?
crazy.
I'm a DeMarcus Ware boy myself.
Love
That's a
DeMarcus.
good name.
Love DeMarcus.
I'm a
That's a good
DeMarcus.
name.
That's who I would say.
I like
Jason
Glenn.
Witten's up there
I like
too.
Terry Glenn. I like Terry Glenn on the Cowboys. Like if I was just picking a player, I like him.
You're just listing the most random.
Yeah,
Brian
yeah,
Westbrook,
I'm talking about
Zach
guys that I
Wilson,
resonated with
Glenn.
when I would watch the games and I on the other team that I would think of.
Yeah, this is Brian Westbrook.
Bro, Terry Glenn played for the Cowboys for one or
Tony
two
Romo out
seasons.
here and
It's
fucking
like-
Jason
Hey Romo, I would
bitch
say
ass.
I would respect you. Say
No, I'm not
Romo.
respecting any of that bullshit and that flop fumble on that field goal because he's a pussy. And
That was his first
poor
year
moment.
ever playing as a starter.
He needs to be on a golf course.
I'm trying to think of Giants that I really liked, and I'm struggling.
The
Yeah.
only one that I like was Strahan, and that's
I like Peace.
I love their whole
You don't
line.
like OBJ?
I
You don't like OBJ?
I like all of
You didn't like
Yeah,
Odell?
I love linemen that just get after it, and that's
Yeah.
what you guys had, and that's why you won. That's the only reason why you won.
Yeah, tough
I
is
like
great.
Sean O'Hara and Devin Deal.
That's what Zach was saying. I
Yeah,
like Zach Martin.
Zach Martin. Yeah, I was about to say his
I
name.
like Zach's version is like I like Michael Boley.
Zach Martin was the year we draft. I wanted Zach Martin the year we drafted him. We drafted Odell that year.
I love Zach Martin. All right, we'll
Good
keep
man.
it moving. Which state would you least want to live in? You went New Mexico.
Eddie's hating.
No, I think he was being honest. The taxes are high. I don't know, but
it is. a pain
Taxes
in the
are
butt.
high, and then like again, I don't want to get into it.
all right, we
Have
don't
you
have to
been
get
before?
into it.
Have you been before?
Huh?
Have you been before?
No, but I'll tell you right now, I go.
All right.
I definitely visit.
I'm not caping for California, for the record. It is the most expensive fucking
But,
place for no reason.
Well, I
and
guess I'm looking from the outside looking in, and yeah,
the weather.
Experiences I've talked to people, and it's just like I don't know.
The
Like,
weather.
I'm not even happy with like New York.
You pay for the weather.
Like, and you guys are glorified New York, and
No,
it's not.
not even close. For the record, I can say that living here in California and being a New Yorker, this is not a glorified New York at all. It's only reason people say that is because there's a bunch of different types of people that live here, melting pot shit. But really, everyone lives apart. No one. It's the same thing in a sense, like anywhere else where everyone has their own sub communities. Like Colombians hang out over here, Dominicans hang out over here, Puerto Ricans hang out over here, Chinese people hang out over here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same type of breakdown anywhere you go.
I'm just trying to say, you guys have never been to the fucking Midwest. You guys would rather live.
I've definitely been to the Midwest. That's why I said New Mexico.
No, I'm saying you'd rather live in like Iowa or Indiana or
New Mexico, looked like
Milwaukee
a
or
place to be
Wisconsin.
bad.
Right, now you're right. Honestly, Hotch, you stumped me. because
Those you know how ugly people are there and fat.
Yeah,
are you
it's
kidding
beautiful
me?
here for the record, and even though it's expensive, it is beautiful
You
here.
guys are crazy.
no, don't be talking shit about
So
fat
many
people.
worse places than here in this country. Are you?
So many. New Mexico's not bad either. New Mexico has some good
I drove through
cities.
there. I thought it was a dump. I didn't like it.
Santa Fe, Albuquerque has some nice spots.
We
Fucking
drove
you.
through it. I don't know. We were there for a day. It was.
Bro, you've been to fucking Iowa, dude. There's nothing. You've been to
No.
West Virginia. Are you guys crazy? You can't even get to a beach unless you fucking
That's a good answer.
have
Maybe.
7 hours.
Yeah, maybe the South, like Mississippi or something. Yeah.
If you grow up in West Virginia, you don't see a beach unless you like get on a plane. Iowa, the same thing. Indiana, like
Yeah,
Or you
honestly,
Indiana
I
was a
think
good
that's
name.
a bad. I take all of them. I'm never going. I would never be any one of those states living there ever.
Yeah.
West Virginia, you couldn't. I would rather fucking be homeless in New
Yeah.
York or California
Yeah.
than live in West Virginia.
I'd be in California 100% before I be there.
Yeah.
West Virginia, no chance.
I was speaking off the top, and
Hating.
and hating. Yep, that's bad.
Man, good. Need a little hate every now and then.
So what?
I hate on it too, for the record. It's expensive as fuck. I'll get it. Twisted.
Worst draft pick in New York Giants history. My first thought was Eric Flowers.
I got so many
Eric
names.
Flowers is
Want
it.
me to keep
That's
going?
it.
I got so many names. I don't
Yeah,
want
I got some good ones. Fucking Eli Apple, Prince of Mukamara.
Oh my God, Eli.
Yeah. What else you got?
Prince wasn't that bad.
Who's the guy?
He wasn't as bad as those other two.
Who?
Prince Mukamara was.
He wasn't as bad as other guys, but he wasn't
Hell
good either. He was drafted
He
before
was a
Jimmy.
terrible giant. He was a terrible giant. He was a decent bear.
He was drafted before Jimmy Smith, who was really good for the Ravens for a long time. So that's
That
why
was
I remember that one.
that
a
was-
lot.
I didn't know who the hell Jimmy Smith.
He's a corner for the Ravens
Corner for the Ravens.
yeah, out of Colorado. But whatchamacallit, for the Giants though, who's the guy who was talking shit about the fans eating too many hot dogs?
Yeah, fuck him. Oh my
Who?
God, the lineman.
Tackle Evan Neal. Evan Neal.
Evan
He's another
Neal.
bad one.
Evan Neal. That's another first round pick, right?
Yeah, Evan Neal's another bad one. I'm trying to think of good ones. It's like Andrew Thomas, and that's
Odell,
it.
I would say he had a great.
I mean, Zach
Tony
Wilson,
was good. I thought a good answer.
Saquon, I
Tony
guess,
was
is
ass.
a hit. I guess you could say.
Zach won't admit Daniel Jones yet. He's not ready to go there.
He's not there though. He's not the worst.
He's
not the
I
worst.
mean, he's got to be
No, he's
close.
not.
I asked
dude.
some questions about Daniel Jones based on what we've watched with impartialness and no actual hating. We asked some questions here to you guys.
I've
Daniel
never,
Jones.
I genuinely, everything I say
Let me
about
ask the
Daniel
question.
Jones
Let me ask the
is
question.
objective.
Let me
It's
ask the
not.
question. Let me
Go
ask the
ahead.
question quickly. Daniel Jones. We saw him on that Thursday night. We see what's happening, obviously, with our eyes. He can't throw over 20 yards, but everything under 20 yards, he's accurate. If he was in on offense on San Francisco,
What was Alex Smith?
is he better than Alex Smith?
No.
Exactly. So let's not even go there.
Okay. Okay.
We agree.
All right.
We agree.
Okay.
If he was in San Francisco, let's say, for example, would it work?
No.
Does it matter?
Brock Purdy.
What is the problem for real?
Brock
with Daniel?
Purdy, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones doesn't have a set of nuts. That's why.
You're saying he's accurate underneath, right? From that Thursday Night Football sample. The Cowboys are onto their fifth corner at one point in that game. They are literally just selling out to stop the run and playing man coverage, letting neighbors run one-on-one the whole game. And all he could do is take the checkdowns that they're giving him. And the best they can hope for is tackles being broken before the sticks. That's all he's fucking doing. You could have fucking 3 college football quarterbacks right now come and play that same Thursday Night Football game Daniel Jones did, and without probably throwing the interception at the end of the game and the other one that should have been intercepted, and maybe even giving them more downfield play. He's so limited as a passer.
So crazy.
He's
It's
so
Look at the stats. It's like 27 of 34, 284, no picks, no fumbles, no touchdowns, no interceptions. It's the most pedestrian offensive.
He had an interception though.
But yeah, he had the pick. That was at the end of the game,
Yeah, like
right?
he isn't Zach Wilson.
He chucked
You know,
it.
like he wasn't like he's not a bust like
He's not
that.
Zach Will. He's not a
He's
bum
not.
bum. That's exactly
He's
kind of
not.
what I
No,
mean.
he's
But
not.
where does he fall on this docket? Like, What is his career?
That's why I can't agree with Hot saying that. Like, he can't be in the conversation of the worst traffic ever.
Nah, because even like you're saying he's not Zach Wilson. Last year you would have been saying like, oh, he's better than Sam Darnold. But look at what Sam Darnold's doing now. I think Sam Darnold coming out of college was a much better prospect than Daniel Jones ever was. Like I still had belief in Sam Darnold. Like I have zero belief in Daniel Jones. I think the Giants actually have a pretty good roster. And the thing that's holding them back is quarterback. Their offensive line is better. Neighbors is a new weapon never had before.
Runyon and Olumine, and they've been playing better. Yes, that's true.
The defensive line is Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns. They have a good team. They have the thing that's holding them back is quarterback. They honestly should be better.
Running game, running is a lot. It's a lot.
If they go anything more,
it's not just Daniel Jones.
It is bad because look at what the Cowboys
coaching too.
In the first 2 weeks, Singletary ran for over 100 yards.
I disagree because you're saying coaching. I think Dable is coaching his ass off just to have them in these games, to be honest.
Really?
Like he's working around Daniel Jones. Like the Cowboys literally just gave up 300 yards rushing the week before, and they're like, we're doing anything but allowing that this game.
You guys should have lost that game. So any other quarterback making those same throws, you guys lost that game on Thursday. Be clear.
Right. Thank you. That's a yes. But what Hotz was saying, Hotz, you were just saying about the Cowboys coaching, right? Cowboys have the worst run defense. Devin Singletary, they had no rushing yards.
Yeah, the reason for that is because the Cowboys coaches made the conscious decision that Daniel Jones can't beat us with his arm. So we're going to stack the box every play man for man, and do anything but let them run against us. And the best Daniel Jones could do is throw underneath and take easy throws on curls because they weren't going to get beat deep. Bend but don't break. Once they get close, hold them to a field goal, which is exactly what they did. They played right into their hands. You can't blame the Giants' offensive coaching when
you're right.
open and he can't hit them.
9 bodies there. I don't care if those bodies are 180 pounds. It's 9 of them. So it's like there's no chance Singletary's going to get off against a team that doesn't believe in what the quarterback's doing. So that's true. I mean, it's crazy.
And what, like you were speaking about as soon as the show started, we're mad at our Cowboys. That game made me so worried about our Cowboys because, like Zach's saying, any other quarterback, we're giving up at least one deep touchdown because of the coverage
3 or 4 touchdowns. Oh my God, it was painful.
But we'll move on to the next question. If you had to spend 100 days in isolation, but you're allowed to watch unlimited episodes of 4 or 3 television series, what are you taking? You guys both had Sopranos. You had Game of Thrones and Suits. Not the biggest Suits guy. It's a little hunky-dory for me. There's like no cursing, you know. But
legit.
And then you went Sopranos, Entourage, and Curb Your Enthusiasm. I like all you guys are great shows. I really can't nitpick nothing. The only thing that crossed my mind was like, it's 100 days is a long time. Like, and this is the only thing I have to occupy my time. Like, I'm thinking, like, do I go like Law and Order, like 25 fucking seasons? You know what I mean?
Law and Order. Law and Order SVU.
Law and Order SVU, 100%.
Something with 50 episodes or something.
Like Law and Order SVU, Law and Order Regular,
and Law
and Order whatever the other one is, like Law and Order Criminal Intent. Like if you just had all the Law and Orders, you'd have so many episodes to go through. Like very little rewatch.
That's
like
that's a good thought.
That's what I was thinking. Even like I guess Seinfeld's Friends, like those sitcoms that were like 24 episode seasons.
Friends, I feel like Seinfeld, I go crazy. It's almost like watching, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're stuck in isolation.
You're like torturing yourself with Jerry Seinfeld's comedy.
Yeah, I feel like I'd go into like a fucking.
Yo, you guys might hang me. Honestly, I've never watched Seinfeld.
That's okay.
I won't hang you. I mean, what? I mean, there's. It's
certain taste.
It's good. It's not like all this work to
younger. It was good when we were kids. So like when I got into like the show watching, like I never watched shows honestly.
Yeah.
I never forget it. I was a junior or senior in high school, and I think I got mono. And I was like home for like bedridden for like a couple weeks. And I started watching Sons of Anarchy. That's another one.
Oh, wow, great show.
I watched Sons of Anarchy, and I was just like, wow, like this
great
shit
television
is. Great television, like I was like hooked. I couldn't stop pressing play for my life.
That's a good show.
And like that was one of those. And I never got into the whole Seinfeld thing, but like I have respect.
But say you are sick or something or whatever, you have like like you have to kill time alone. Like when you find a good show that you get like locked in on, there's like very few things as addicting. Like you will be dead tired and won't go to sleep and watch one more, and then you'll wake up in the morning earlier to like watch another one before you got to do something else. Like when you really
Walking Dead, those types of shows, Breaking Bad, those types of shows, you just.
I'm surprised you guys don't like Suits. I feel like Zachary would like it.
I like Suits. It's good.
I think I did the first couple seasons and then I fell off.
I feel like the first episode I saw the whole show. Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
It's one of those,
the first episode is so incredible, and the second episode, learning that he like the way he gets in and all that stuff, obviously, without passing the bar.
I just think it was so wicked. It was just so like intellectual, like responses about everything.
Yeah,
in that show. I just like honestly, like it made me think like that too, though. Like in the sense of like just thinking outside the box and whatever, and just being like above it. I honestly, that show.
Yeah, Meghan Markle's cool.
That's another point too, Eddie. Where like when you get hooked on a show, like you start to like embody personality behaviors of like the people on the show. Like you try to like joke like them or like make decisions. Like you start to analyzing like them. Like when you really get wrapped up in a good show. So, I mean, like I said, the only other notes I'd have is like, it's just like I said, the longer shows, more episodes because of the amount of time. But all the answers were good. All right, moving on.
I like SVU as an answer. I might
have SVU, I think, is good. Might be the 1-1 because there's just so many episodes and they're all pretty good. But the next one is: would you rather be the world's best chef or the world's best dancer? I think I'd have to agree with you guys with chef, but I did think about it for a second because I'm like, even if you weren't like a professional dancer, but like every wedding you went to, you were just the swaggiest motherfucker out. Like even when you're like 60 years old.
Honestly, respectfully,
crazy moves.
I'll say I'm not the best dancer. At every wedding, I think I'm the best dancer. I have fun. I have no shame in my game. I like to move. I love my lady. My lady loves to move. So dancing is amazing. Dancing is fun. People who don't dance,
strange behavior.
I sorely, just hope that they get the courage to do it. Doesn't matter how you look, enjoy it, do it. But
if you go to a wedding and you don't dance,
cooking is where you want it. Like that's an attribute that would take you.
It's like that song. It's like, I hope you dance.
I know I can dance a bad. I got too many damn kids, so I know I can dance.
I hear you.
John's dancing around his apartment by himself to that song right now. I hope you dance.
Dude, I was at my sister's wedding. I fucking danced the whole fucking night. I had to fucking have my shirt.
There he is.
The beater. You already know, bro. It's 90% confidence, I say. Like if you just start doing something, moving confidently.
90% confidence, 10% rhythm.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have the 10%. Anyway.
Yeah, I just have the confidence. I don't even have the 10% rhythm.
That's
but
hilarious.
It's mad fun. But I don't know. Being a chef, I guess, is the right answer at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would say chef just also because I'm in the background. I don't want to be a dancer out, and I don't want to be a dancer on stage, like fucking this and that. The chef is like in the kitchen, kind of low key fire. He can come out and get his fucking applause when he wants, and like get his shine, and then go back to the kitchen.
It is like stressful, long hours, like But I guess if you just like morph into it and you're already at the top, it's good.
Yeah.
But if it's like you had to grind to get there, chef is a lot harder than dancer, probably.
I don't know. If you're like the best dancer ever, I don't know.
Have you ever worked in a kitchen versus like a dance studio? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think I agree with you because there's so many intricate things to being the best chef. You probably can cook anything. So
you're gonna get burnt. You're gonna get cut at some point. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have. I guess as a dancer, you might tear your ACL. I guess there's the hardships too.
Your feet probably look black and blue.
All right, I'll fucking be Fred Astaire. All right. Who is your favorite WWF, WWE wrestler of all time?
Eddie, your camera's off, by the way. Eddie said Stone Cold. I went with Jeff Hardy and Stone Cold. And then a special consideration to The Undertaker, of course. John, who do you think?
Oh, man. I mean, I saw the Andre the Giant documentary. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
As a little kid, though, growing up, I don't want to say the best, but I love The Rock, so I think The Rock is definitely a valid answer. Mankind was fucking cool as fuck. Mick Foley, the Rock and Sock Connection tag team was fucking awesome. That was electric.
Rocky was the weirdest, most craziest. What's it called?
That's my favorite tag team, no doubt. Rock and Sock Connection. Mick Foley and The Rock was fucking awesome.
Nah, Mick Foley, Mankind was one of the best ever.
Yeah. Incredible. And then he had like Dude Love. He had like fucking different personalities. He was cool as hell. Shout outs.
Growing up, the gnarliest highlights, by the way, when he jumped off that cage. That was,
dude, that guy didn't give a fuck.
That's the gnarliest thing I think I've ever seen with 2 eyes.
How can you not love wrestling after seeing shit like that?
That's what
that
one and the Jeff Hardy from the top of the fucking ladder. Those two are just like the swanton. It's ridiculous.
That's like when it pisses you off that people are like, wrestling is fake. I'm like, bro, this guy just jumped 25 feet in the air and did a fucking
wrestling is fake in the sense that they don't really hate each other.
Yeah, it's scripted. Outcome is scripted, but it's still
each other. But it's an art. It's an art that's real. Like it's a real art. Like,
and it takes insane athleticism to like do this shit. Like
physical beating.
It's not I'm talking to two people that appreciate and understand really what's going on there, and it's not some like hipper jabber other people that I'm sure in our league would be like, it's wrestling, bro. It's not that big of a
and I'm not a wrestling poser. Like I don't watch wrestling.
That would be only Rob Bukowski and Casey.
That's true.
Yeah, and who cares what Casey says about anything? So.
Casey, I don't give a fuck what anything has to say.
Casey's in Brooklyn right now, getting his shit off.
I love him.
Yeah. I guess.
Nah, but wrestling wise, Stone Cold.
With a girl that knows more baseball than him.
Giving people fingers. In elementary school, I lived in the Bronx. I used to literally walk around and give people fingers and just Stone Cold stun them.
Bro.
I was one of those kids. Like, one of those
WWF, when it really hit its peak when we were kids, was incredible. Even like Hulk Hogan, like there's a lot of guys I can name. Matt Hardy also, just like the dynamic of the Hardy Boys. The 3D. What's his name? When they did the 3D, the Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys.
The Dudley Boys. D'Lo and
the table. That was ridiculous finisher. That was so hype.
Dude, I mean, there's so many guys you could list.
So man.
Billy Gunn, fucking X-Pac, fucking D-Generation X.
Rob Van Dam. Fucking
Shawn Michaels, one of the best wrestlers.
Oh, hell yeah. Zach always liked fucking Gold Dust.
Nah, don't tell me that.
No, Zach was always a big...
More of a Rakishi.
Don't tell me that.
More of a Rakishi guy. That's John.
Zach was a big Gold Dust fan. That's what he always talked about growing up.
And you liked Rakishi. That's a.
I mean, Rakishi, it's Polynesian, Samoan, signed up for the Cowboys. Zach was a big Scotty Too Hottie guy,
Of course.
Those are all his guys.
Scotty Too Hottie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, man. Too much fun.
Was the original Eminem. You heard it here first.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But it was pretty cool on the low. D'Lo Brown. He had a good theme song.
Booker T.
Yeah, D'Lo Brown would just walk out like he just did like a line. Like
Batista.
He was doing some shit about it.
Batista was tight though.
Yeah, good time.
D'Lo Brown. All right. We'll go to one more. If you could witness one moment in history as a fly on the wall, as in you cannot make an impact or change history, what moment would you want to see? There's a video of Aaron Boone's home run. Like you could see it. Like there's things in history that you can't see like ever. Like you'd still rather just see Aaron Boone's home run.
No, honestly, I mean, again, your 5 questions are always hot.
Yeah.
I gotta just say something. And honestly, like I remember that. Like I remember watching it.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember like my house. People that were at my house.
Like your question is just like
they exploded. Like they exploded, and yeah. So like, I wish I was just probably there. But nah, there's 1,001 things I could probably think of right now.
Yeah.
You want to be there for Noah's Ark when he set sail?
No,
2 of each animal. You didn't want to be there.
Hell no. That boat probably.
Imagine being inside the
watch MLK's "I Have a Dream" speech. You didn't want to be there for that either, huh, Eddie? You wanted to see Aaron Boone against Boston the year that we fucking lost in the fucking World Series. Sick.
Honestly, it would be when the fucking Cowboys won the damn Super Bowl. That was the real answer.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a
That
great
should have been
answer.
it. Because I've never
the locker room after the
Great.
08 Super Bowl for the Giants. The locker room after the 08 Super Bowl for the Giants.
So amazing as those answers are, like being there for Super Bowls and shit, I'd still have to go with like the Roman Coliseum fucking gladiator fights or some shit
Lawrence
like that.
Taylor nights before the games. I'd rather be there.
Hanging out with Dennis Rodman in the 90s.
Yeah, like I can think of a million things better than what I said.
That weekend when they're in the finals or some shit and Steve Kerr had to go escort him, whatever. I want to be there for those parties.
This is actually probably a fun way to do it. Like fucking Jim Morrison of the Doors the night he died, that party.
I'm sure if Nick was on here, he'd be like, I wanted to be there for one of the Diddy parties.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. I thought we weren't talking about Diddy, bro.
All right.
Oh yeah, Nick, we love you. We'd love to have you back as a guest.
Love Nick. Shout out to Nick. God bless him.
Oh my God, I don't know if I could go. I think we got to move on. That's the Hots Corner. That's victory formation.
So quickly, going into tomorrow, since we'll wrap it up with this. We can't wrap with that.
Let's talk about fantasy. What's up? What we doing?
Or you just want to talk about any like upset alert games that you see tomorrow on the schedule when you're pick 'em? If you're doing your pick 'em tomorrow, if you see any team that you believe is an upset tomorrow, who's your upset tomorrow? I'll name mine first while you guys can look through.
Say it again, Zach.
My upset for tomorrow is the Browns over the Commanders. The Browns are getting 2 offensive linemen back, Conklin, I believe, and I forget another guy. And Chubb is back, and he's been given high spirits, I think, in that locker room. So I think that maybe that team comes out and plays well. Jaden Daniels has been living on a high. Maybe he has to come down a little bit, knocked down a peg, maybe. So that's my upset of the week.
I think the Jaguars are going to be the coach. They have to
Jaguars are home dogs.
Huh?
Jaguars are home dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. They're 0-4.
Wow.
Their spread is Jaguar. No. So Jaguars -3. So you know what that means.
Man, I'm pulling up a chair. You got me interested.
That's what that means. And they got to win.
Is Anthony Richardson
not playing?
How?
Yeah.
Blacko.
He's not
That's
playing.
what makes me afraid.
Jonathan Taylor is not playing.
That's huge.
Not playing.
picked up Trace fantasy.
And you got to pay $200 million. You have to win. Doug Peterson, you have to win or you're getting fired tomorrow. Like, you have to win.
That's
a lot.
If you start the line with a $250 million quarterback, you're going to get fired. That probably sounds right.
All right,
go ahead, John.
My upset pick of the week is me versus Eddie Luzada in fantasy. I'm currently given a 43% win percentage, so that makes me an underdog. And I'm calling my shot. Fuck you, Eddie. Fucking
I'm about to
piece of
lose
shit.
to Mo Lester.
Mo Lester? That's Casey.
None other than fucking Casey.
We're rooting for you.
Nah, you're gonna win. Fuck
Eddie.
Casey.
Yeah, fuck Casey. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, fuck Casey.
You got 16 points from McLaughlin, Tampa's kicker. You're shit.
Yo, he got 16 points on a kicker. That's the only reason why he's even
Justin Tucker. He dropped Justin Tucker from this week. I said, nice move to fucking give up on Tucker.
Yeah, you know who picked up Tucker?
Jermaine.
Yo, Jermaine sucks.
Was it Jermaine?
Jermaine's bad.
Yeah.
Jermaine's so bad. I love him. He's so bad.
15 wow. Youngway Koo with 15. Are you kidding?
I know we've been talking about it to death in the group chat, but when he argues that Dalvin Cook was somehow better than Odell Beckham as a pick just because, like, the ADP, and I just dropped these, like, I don't care what they produce. I care the ADP. I'm like, that's why you suck. That was, like, my best fucking line ever. I was like, it's the truth. Like, why the fuck would you care more about that than that?
You're starting. Who is this kicker you're starting? Who is this person?
He plays for the Rams, bro. Fucking sunny California.
Who is he?
He's the Rams kicker. What do you want me to say? Fucking, you want to know his middle name?
No, I just never seen this guy in my life. How would you even know to pick a guy like him up? I don't even know his name. I've never seen this guy. Since when is he the Rams kicker?
Since the season started.
No, I have no idea. I haven't even seen this guy. He's a rookie.
Yeah, that says more about you than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, I love Jermaine, but he's butt.
Of course.
He's not.
Yeah,
BBL jersey. Oh man.
Man,
I mean, Drake London went crazy. I love the Drake London pick. I always told him that from the beginning. He was grabbing it regardless at pick 2.
Yeah,
that's
a
if he pulls you, then you're good.
Hots, you got hosed here, bro.
And you, Hots. Oh, you wasn't a fan of that. You didn't like Drake London.
I didn't like Drake London.
Kirk Cousins, but I think Kirk Cousins is that guy. I think Kirk Cousins could definitely show the best interest in his best wide receivers. He did it with JJ. He did it with Justin Jefferson. He did it with Addison. You know, he's the guy who's gonna get the ball in your hands. Like, it's not gonna be him while you lose, dude. It's not. This is not.
No, here's what I said. My take was they're not going to win the division. I was standing on that take. We'll see, they're leading it now. It's still we can revisit halfway through the season. Okay. I will say this: I was not about to step off of my take last week because that Saints game was a fluke. They didn't score an offensive touchdown and gave up 24 points.
Right.
That hasn't happened since 1983 that someone won a game under those circumstances. They had a special teams touchdown, a defensive touchdown at home. Very weird win. This last week, I'm more of a believer. The only thing holding me back from saying it was maybe a bad take or an early take is that a lot of it's based in coaching, and Todd Bowles is just as bad of a coach as Raheem Morris is. Watching the end of that game was fucking painful. 2 fucking buffoons running around back and forth, fucking who can't manage a clock, or like you go for it on 4th and 5th.
And Kirk threw that pick for the record.
Wait, so Raheem Morris is a bad coach?
Yeah, Raheem Morris is a bad coach. I don't think he's a good coach. He's never had success anywhere he's gone. People have taken over after him and won Super Bowls.
They're the best team.
He's a good coordinator.
They're the best team in that division.
I think the
Depends on the week, though. It depends on the week.
I know. He has a better quarterback. The Bucks have a better quarterback. I love Mike Evans. I love Baker. I'm a huge Baker fan.
Who has a better offense?
The Bucks.
Bucks in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think it's neck and neck. Like I can't out.
So if you had to pick one,
if I had to pick one.
Yeah.
I'm taking Atlanta. I'm taking Bijan, Rick London, Kyle Pitts. I'm taking them.
Yeah. So I'm picking Tampa because I'm picking Baker.
Because you got Godwin and Mike Evans.
No, I'm taking Baker.
Godwin, Mike Evans, Rashad White, Bucky Irving, better offensive line.
It's Baker and Kirk.
Okay, I agree with you, Hots. But you're gonna tell me that 4 guys you just mentioned are way better than what I just mentioned on.
No, it isn't a big gap. I'll give you that. And I can say that Atlanta has a better defense. But I just think at the end, when it all shakes out, you know, like I said, we're still only 5 weeks in. I'm not giving up on my team yet.
Not a little bit, though.
I will say, I do have a brewing alternation to my take, which is that if the Falcons keep winning these super close games where they need a little fumble by the rookie running back on the other team, or a little pass interference at the end of the game to get into field goal range, they're going to start feeling very similar to that Vikings team that lost to the Giants in the playoffs that had a great record, but their point differential was basically even at the end of the year, where they're getting these close wins.
Who was the quarterback of that Minnesota team?
That was also Kirk Cousins.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm saying that's...
So you think the Falcons are fake because they got Kirk Cousins?
I think the Falcons are limited, and I think the coaching plays a lot to do with it too. But I do think that Kirk Cousins is very up and down. I don't think he'll have those amazing games. He's the only player with 450 yards for 3 different teams. You know, he'll have spectacular games, but also
the top 13 quarterback in the league.
I mean, I can't be like there's absolutely not, but he's not. He's either 11 or he's 16. He's somewhere in there. He's just in that midst. But like I said, but in 1 week he might be a top 4 quarterback, and in another week he might be a bottom 3 quarterback. The week before against the Saints, he was 50% passing and an interception, no touchdowns, 230 yards and like 30 passing attempts.
In his division, same thing. Grab all the quarterbacks. We got Carolina. Man, we talk about them.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about them.
Saints. Eric Carr is the top 5 quarterback first 3 weeks.
Yeah,
that exposed last week.
That's the best counter argument you have to my Kirk Cousins.
Who's other quarterbacks, Zach?
Baker Mayfield.
Eric Carr, Baker Mayfield, Andy Dalton, and
Baker.
And then our guy.
Big fan of Baker.
Yeah.
Huge fan of Baker. What? I think it's definitely going to be dumb too. But I just think the Falcons are.
I'm not ruling out the Saints yet either.
I'm not ruling out the Saints either.
All of these teams are the Spider-Man meme. That's the best way I can put it.
Just to put it. Sorry.
Pointing at each other. They're all the same in a way.
That's a good point. But my point is that Atlanta was minus 150 to win the division before the season started in Vegas. Like in a 4-team division, they were minus 150.
And now?
I don't know. I'm not looking. I don't have it handy, but I'm just.
I'll venture to guess it'd probably be similar right now.
No.
It would have to be off the win against Tampa.
And they have a win over the Saints already too. I don't know if it'd
probably be similar if I was guessing that.
I'll go real quick and look it up. But my point being is that we're all saying these teams are all very close, which means they all should have similar odds. And Atlanta was clear in a way the favorite. And I was like, this doesn't add up to me.
Until I see it from Kirk Cousins, I fail to believe it. That's it.
And like I said, I've got a little closer to abandoning this take because of last week, because Kirk Cousins did play really well. Yeah, he did. He showed up that game for sure.
He's a good quarterback. I hate their offensive line. They don't run block well. Bijan did not run the ball well.
Leonard Falcons, plus 160.
So they went from minus 150 to plus 160
to win the division.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have
they're like that, dude. Y'all football guys. Y'all watched them play the Chiefs, right? Y'all watched them last week when they should have fucking lost because I have money on them losing. They won last week. What was it, Monday night? Whatever the fucking night.
Against the Saints. They won against the Bucks on Thursday night, and then they won against the Saints.
Exactly. They just beat the Bucks. I took the Bucks, Hots.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. That's why I feel the way I feel. Okay?
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Now, we'll see. I mean, like we said, it was early takes to go. Real quick, victory formation you guys could tap on after. Last show we had it. It was Tuesday. I was talking about Bryson Daly, the Army quarterback, could be the next Taysom Hill in the NFL. Since then, he's won 42-14 and 49-7. He's went over 100 yards rushing in both games, 5 total rushing touchdowns. Has also thrown.
What is the schedule? I want to know.
They're Army. What do you mean what their schedule is? They are a mid-major themselves. They're in the American Conference.
That's true.
Yeah, I've been to an Army game when I was younger. I want to go to another one. I like this kid. I'm betting on the cover.
Neil, his wife works West Point. She works at a paralegal lawyer's office, and she works for West Point. And she gets tickets. He invited me for next week.
Damn.
So let me know whenever you want to go. We can make that happen.
All right, I'll talk to you off the air for sure, bro, because I'm interested, because I love this quarterback. Zach last week was like, does he pass? I'm like, does Taysom Hill pass? That's what I'm saying. But today he was 5 for 5 for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Damn. Okay.
And like you said, what's this competition? I mean, it's like Tulsa and other teams like that, but they are Army. And like I said, they're winning 49-7, 42-14.
Yeah.
They've covered spreads every single week. They're 5-0. Army is seriously in the hunt to be the 12th playoff team, and it's like going under the radar, like as the mid-major team in the college football playoff. And this is the truth.
Go to a game then. At this point, how many times you've mentioned this guy? You guys have to go to a game. I've been up there before. It's unbelievably electric. I know Hot's you've been up there. Have you been up there before?
This is officially a Bryson Daly podcast.
Have you been up there?
I've only went for like engagement parties and whatnot, but I have to go to a game.
It is electric.
My boy Jameel's a big football head. He's actually one of the coaches for North Rockland football. And his wife, works for West Point and Army football. And Yeah.
Ask Jameer if he knows about Bryson Daly and if he could be like.
I guarantee he will send me a paragraph.
Yeah. And ask him if he thinks he could be the next Taysom Hill, because I believe it. I was reading up on like the rules. I think he could like defer his military service and play for years, figure it out. Be like, there's ways around it. His service requirements.
Gotta see him on the Saints.
Cadet.
Gotta see him on the Saints.
He's a baller. He's a baller. He's nasty. He's fucking can throw too. Like I said, he doesn't throw a lot because they just run the ball down their throats. But when he does throw, he has an arm and he's accurate. He's good, man. Very good. Best service academy player off the top of my head that I can think of I've ever seen.
Shout out
Bryson Daly. You got anything, Zach?
For victory formation, I'll keep it simple. Shout out again.
President's Cup.
Yankees. I'm very focused on the Yankees right now, and I feel like we have a really good chance right now. So my victory formation is just shout out, the bullpen, and shout out to Aaron Boone actually trusting his arms tonight, his best arms, and shout out to the Yankees getting it done while Judge is sleeping.
Shout out the Tigers to beating the Astros.
Shout out to Tigers to beating the Astros. Shout out to AJ Hinch, former manager, getting some revenge against his old team. Appreciate you, bro, using the inside tricks to get that done. So shouts out.
Eddie, any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. Victory formation. Honestly, like you said, Zach, to piggyback off you, let's go fucking Yankees. I love what we got. This is our chance. This is our time. I don't know if Soto's going across town next year.
No,
so it's like this is the time that we gotta
don't even say things
honestly,
like that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm rooting for the Mets. I am. I would love nothing more than to play them in the World Series.
All right.
You know what they got? I love Lindor. PR all day. That boy is. I think he should be MVP. Honestly, if it wasn't for this fucking DH generational fucking talent, he should be MVP.
Who homered tonight in Game 1 against San Diego?
Knicks.
Like that.
Knicks coming up in 11 days. I'm so excited to see what we got going on. I'm pissed off that I know it's gonna be $300 to sit in the nosebleeds. So I'm gonna have to get together.
Plus, how you doing?
Watch that on live. But yeah, between the Knicks and the Yankees and even my Cowboys, yo, like I love the grind that we got. I mean, it's not going to be a good year for us. We're not going to win the most games. We're going to barely get out our own division. But we're not scrubs. We got cornerstones that could carry us, and I hope they do, because we need more help than ever. And I can say in the last 6-7 years, it's not going to be easy. We're not a powerhouse. I know.
I think next year off season, you guys are going to go bonanza.
You got to go grab that running back.
It's early. Oh, Ashton Janty, yeah, he's amazing. The running back of Boise is amazing. Yeah, he's incredible.
But that's our final take. Love you guys.
And we're rooting for you, Johnny, against Eddie. You know, I see all the injuries that you're dealing with, and Tyreek Hill having a duck of a quarterback throwing to him now. So you're dealing with a lot over there. I see you managing.
Hey, we're 2-2. We're 2-2. There's a lot of season left. I'm not worried about it. I take it one game at a time. I'm taking Eddie out this week. I'm gonna make a side bet with him tomorrow morning. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, that's my boy.
And then, lastly, I just want to give a wax poetic for a second. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. Yankee fans, Astros are gone. Guardians are nothing. It's the Yankees versus the AL Central. Are you fucking kidding me? You guys better take this shit home. Stand up, stand on business. And over crosstown, we're the lowly Mets, the woeful Mets. Look at us, Mets. Not anymore. We're not that team anymore. This is the new Mets. This is the Carlos Mendoza Mets. We're coming at the Phillies next. We won one in the bank. We'll win another in the bank tomorrow, and then we'll sweep them on Tuesday. And then we'll go into
that shit.
How about that? How about that?
Stand up. Don't fucking hide, Met fans. Show up, show out. Yankees fans do the same. We're bringing it back to 2000. Subway Series.
That's my dad. Shouts out to all the Met fans.
Subway Series, get your fucking Metro cards ready.
Let's go, baby.
We're 26ers. We out of here. It's a pleasure. We'll talk to you. Be good.
Boy.
Eddie, appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for coming on, Ed. Appreciate you always. Love you.
Love you.